You won't believe how $2 changed a man's entire life. The camera opens on a quiet diner at sunset, the kind where the coffee's cheap, the jukebox never works, and the regulars know each other's heartbreaks by name. That's where Jack Turner, a single dad and Marine veteran, sat staring at the last two crumpled dollars in his wallet. His hands, scarred from years of service and hard labor, shook slightly as he looked at the bill and then at the small plate of fries he'd ordered for his little daughter, Maddie. She was 7, bright-eyed, and the only light left in his world since her mom passed away 2 winters ago. Jack had been out of work for 3 months. His old pickup had broken down, and his landlord was hinting he'd need the room if rent didn't come soon. That night, he was running on faith alone, faith that somehow tomorrow would be kinder. As he folded the $2 back into his wallet, a heavy rumble filled the air. The kind that makes windows shake. Maddie's eyes widened. Outside, a line of motorcycles roared past the diner, chrome shining under the dying sun. A group of bikers, leather, tattoos, the whole deal, parked by the gas pumps. One of them, a big guy with a gray beard and a patch that read Road Saints MC, walked in. He ordered coffee, fished through his vest, and cursed softly. "Forgot my damn wallet," he muttered. The waitress rolled her eyes, tired, like she'd seen this before. Without thinking, Jack stood up. "Hey," he said quietly, walking over, "coffee's on me, brother." He held out his last $2. The biker looked him up and down. Worn boots, faded marine jacket, a tired face but kind eyes. "You sure?" Jack smiled faintly. "Been in worse spots. Everyone needs a break sometimes." The biker nodded slowly. "You're a good man." He took the coffee, lifted it in a small salute, and walked out. Jack didn't think much of it. Just another small act of decency in a world that had forgotten how to care. The next morning, the sound of engines shook the ground again. Jack thought it was thunder until Maddie ran to the window screaming, "Daddy! Look!" What he saw made him drop his coffee cup. 200 motorcycles, lined up down the street, stretching past the diner and around the block. Every single one with a Road Saints MC patch. The same biker from last night stepped forward, holding something in his hand. "Name's Bear," he said. "You bought me coffee last night with your last $2. I didn't forget." Jack blinked. "You didn't have to." "Yeah, we did," Bear interrupted. He gestured toward the crowd. "We looked you up, man. You're a Marine. Single dad. Lost your wife. You didn't ask for help, but that's exactly why we showed up." Behind him, riders started unloading things, groceries, clothes, boxes of tools, and even a shiny, rebuilt pickup truck. Maddie's eyes filled with tears as one of the bikers lifted her onto a sparkling pink mini bike and handed her a helmet that said, "Lil Warrior." Jack tried to speak, but emotion choked his words. Bear put a hand on his shoulder. "You gave me $2, brother. We're giving you a new start." For the first time in months, Jack felt something inside him ease, like a weight lifting off his chest. The bikers didn't just leave gifts, they stayed. Fixed the roof. Painted the porch. Raised money for Jack's rent. Within days, the diner was packed again, locals inspired by the story. People started leaving envelopes for the Marine and his little girl. News crews showed up. But Jack didn't care about fame, he just cared that Maddie finally laughed again. That weekend, the Road Saints held a charity ride in Jack's name, $2 of hope. The idea was simple. Every rider donated $2, passing it forward to veterans and single parents in need. What started with one act of kindness spread across the country. Months later, standing beside his new truck, Jack told a reporter, "I used to think the world had forgotten me. But it turns out, kindness echoes. Sometimes it just takes a little while to come back around." The final shot shows Jack and Maddie waving as hundreds of motorcycles ride into the sunset, engines thundering like a promise that goodness still lives out there on the open road. And that's when the voiceover cuts in softly. Sometimes, it only takes $2 to change everything. If you believe kindness still matters, hit that like button, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us what humanity's all about. Fade out. The story leaves you with one clear message: no act of kindness is ever too small. Because when you give from the heart, the world always finds a way to give back.